Okay, so guys, remember here, the question says df is equal to half of the square root of 4r squared minus a squared, right? Now a is the length AD, please check, is that correct? And B is the length AB, right? Then does it say BG? What is this point again? What point is that?
E.
Is that E? Right. So does it say BG, GE, and EF are equal? All right. Okay, and ABCD is a parallelogram. Now we need to prove that ABCD is a rectangle. What is the first thing we prove for a rectangle? Right. In order to prove that it is a rectangle, we need first of all to prove that it is a parallelogram, right? Yes. But we know, right? So we can say ABCD is a parallelogram. How do we know that? Well, this is given. So, now this is a parallelogram. We want to show that it's a rectangle. What is the one other requirement that we need to prove now? One angle equal to 90 degrees. Right, one angle equal to 90 degrees. Which angle do you want to target? Maybe angle A, right? Can we show that angle A is 90 degrees? Right, remember this is R. What is this equal to? This is half of the square root of 4r squared minus a squared. Are we told that AE is equal to ED on the diagram?
Yes, sir.
And AD is equal to A, which means AE is equal to half of A. Right, yeah, then it's easy to use those sides to check whether that angle there is 90 degrees. How do we do that? We prove the converse of Pythagoras, right? The theorem of Pythagoras says, in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse will be equal to the sum of the squares of the two other sides, right? That is the theorem. Then the converse says, in a triangle, if the squares of the two shorter sides add up to the square of the longest side, then that triangle should be right-angled. So let's take half A and square that. What do we get? A quarter of A squared. Now let's take the other side. Half of 4r squared minus a squared. Let's square that. What do we get? We get a quarter of 4r squared minus a squared. I don't need a reason for all that, right? Now, the other side is r squared, of course. Now we need to check if we add these two, what answer do we get? So take 1/4 of a squared, and let's add 1/4 of 4r squared minus a squared. This will give us 1/4 of a squared. I'm distributing that there. So that will give us plus r squared, and that will give us minus 1/4 of a squared, which is equal to, what does that simplify to? That simplifies to r squared, right? Okay, so from this, do you see that AG, okay, that's fine. AE squared plus AG squared is equal to GE squared, which is r squared. And so what can we conclude? Therefore, angle A is equal to 90 degrees. Now we need a reason for this. Why are we saying that? You can say converse of Pythagoras theorem. Because this is 90 degrees, We can say, therefore, that ABCD is a rectangle. And what is our reason? Because this is, okay, so ABCD is a parallelogram with one angle equal to 90 degrees. Okay, something like that. You want to start with AG is equal to half multiplied by 4r squared minus a squared. Okay, but they want it in terms of B. In other words, we don't want A in our answer. So we need to remove the A. Actually, we don't even need that. We actually don't need this. This is okay, but we don't need that to answer this question. Because remember, guys, this is B. Yes.
Can't you say AG is equal to B minus R?
That's not good.
Yeah. Yes.
That's not good.
Yes.
That's not good.
So AG is equal to AB minus BG, right? Okay, but AB is B and GB is R. Okay, so there was nothing tricky after all. So AG is equal to B minus R. So that was question 1 there. This is question 2. I think there's a third question, right? Okay, prove that R is equal to all that. And we know that AG is equal to B minus R. This one here is now B minus R because this is equal to R. And we want to know, or rather to prove that R can be written as A squared plus 4B squared, all that divided by 4 by 8B. Okay. Do you think we need to solve those two simultaneously? Because those are two expressions for the same thing, AG. So let's solve 1 and 2 simultaneously, and let's see what we can get. So we're getting half root 4r squared minus a squared is equal to b minus r. So we are rearranging this equation. We need to rearrange that equation and make r the subject. Multiply both sides by 2, right? So then the left-hand side becomes square root of 4r squared minus a squared, and the right-hand side now becomes 2b minus 2r, right? Okay, the next thing we need to remove here is the root sign, right?
Yes, sir.
How do we remove root signs? We square, so we need to take this thing and square it, and take that thing also and square it. What do we get on the left-hand side? 4r squared minus a squared. And what do we get on the right-hand side? Okay, so just remember this is 2b minus 2r multiplied by 2b minus 2r. Then you can FOIL, right? Then you can FOIL. Right. So we get 4r squared minus a squared. Now, did you say 4b squared? Right, so that is this one. Then give me that one. Minus 4br, right?
Yes,
Then this one, minus 4br again. And the last will give us plus 4r squared. Okay, there we are. So yeah, we are trying to find r. So we now need to take all terms that have r and bring them to one side. Can we take them to the left? Can we? But before we even do that, we agree that this 4r squared and that 4r squared will actually give us a 0. So we can ignore those straight away, right? Okay, so let's move these terms with r to the left. So this becomes 4br plus, is it plus 4br again? Okay. So 4br plus 4br is equal to, this will become a squared to the right here, plus 4b squared. 4br plus 4br is 8br, which is equal to a squared plus 4b squared. And so we can find r by dividing both sides by 8b. So divide by 8b, you get a squared plus 4b squared, all divided by 8b. And so you proved it.